Good morning to you. This is Steve Hailstone, and today is Tuesday, June the 6th, 2017. I haven't put out a submission for a little bit. I've done some recording. I just didn't think they were worthy of putting up. Either a bit too long ago, I neglected them, or I felt too complainy or something and decided, well, let's start over again. So I made the absent-minded mistake this morning of forgetting to bring socks with me. So I will see just how soft my Nike Air shoes are. They feel like slippers. So today I need them to act like slippers. Nice and soft. So I'm not really all that worried about blisters. I'm not going too far. And I'm just doing my walking warm-up right now, and I'll explain a little bit while cannot get my tongue engaged. I will try to explain why I'm doing just a little bit this morning. So, and I see that tomorrow is National Running Day, according to whoever makes up the national days. And would like to participate. So, not too much today. Interesting little trees I'm passing by that have a flower. A couple of petals come out and then it looks like a ball. I guess it's just the rest of the petals looking to unfold. But a week ago, tomorrow, everything was going along just fine. Life was normal. And I don't know if I had run yesterday or last Wednesday or not, but it was the evening. I had just gotten home from work, and all of a sudden my left foot, about the place where your toes meet the rest of your foot, where you bend to push off, or when you're pushing off, suddenly there was a great discomfort there. Like I had strained something. So I don't know what that is, but it's been bothering me for a week. And if I try to massage that area, it feels sore right up to the toes. So I'm not really sure what's going on, why something just started hurting from out of nowhere. But I hope it's not a long-lasting concern, but we will try to work with it. It doesn't seem to hurt when I run because I'm not pushing off a great deal. I haven't run to really know, but I've jogged across the yard just to see what that feels like. And it seems like running will actually be easier on it than walking. So, lots to catch up on today. So I'm going to do my little walk. Then I will get into my jog run, and we'll talk during that time. So catch up with you in just a few minutes.
Zone 1.
All right, I got my feet moving here. And besides my feet giving me a little niggles, my car is giving me a little bit of niggles too. Was looking to have the air conditioning repaired.
Zone 2.
And a friend tells me I may have wheel bearings that need to be replaced. So that will definitely trump getting the air conditioning fixed. We are really entering not just a busy season, but a real set of changes, life changes coming up. Tomorrow night is Anna's graduation from high school. I think today is her last day of classes. And then tomorrow, I think maybe she shows up in the morning for a rehearsal of Pomp and Circumstance. And then tomorrow evening's ceremony will take place at the PP&L Center in Allentown. It's where the Philadelphia Phantoms play hockey. Their minor league team for the flyers. Usually, they play at the Stabler, or not play. Yes, the graduates are leading 2-0. Usually, the graduation ceremony is at the Stabler Arena at Lehigh University, but I think there was a scheduling conflict. Oh, a little tiny killdeer out here this morning. So that's what's going on here. Tomorrow, by the way, for June 6th, today's high is supposed to be 64 degrees. And then we're in the 60s the next 3 days.
Zone 0.
And then we finally start slowly creeping up to the 70s. So we've really been in a rainy,
1.
cool pattern. We've had some hot days, but May was mostly cool, I think. Cool and very wet.
Zone 2.
So that's the first life change, is Anna's graduation. Wayne and Rebecca will come up for the graduation. I think Mitchell talked to Anna last night saying he won't be able to come.
1.
He needs to conserve his days off for his brother's and his own wedding. And a brother-in-law's to-be wedding. So I think his busyness is Wayne's wedding in July. A week later,
Zone 0.
his fiance's brother's wedding in Montana, and then his own wedding in August. But I get ahead of myself. So we have
Zone 1.
graduation tomorrow, and then on Saturday, the boys are being celebrated, having an engagement party at my brother-in-law's house.
2.
And that will take place just about 20 minutes down the road from us. So we're supposed to have a barbecue. At least the temperatures will be in the 70s by then. Hopefully not rainy, because lots of people invited. And I'm not sure where they would put everybody. They don't have a lot of floor space for getting together. I guess it would either be downstairs in their basement or on the first floor. So event number 1, graduation. Event number 2
0.
is engagement party. And that's trying to get together people who may not be able to make it to the wedding,
Zone 1.
since the weddings are in Delaware and Tennessee. And then the following Saturday is Anna's graduation party.
Zone 2.
Yeah, a little cottontail rabbit is running ahead of me. It's funny. I think he's glad that I'm walking and not running after him.
Zone 1.
All right, rabbit has scurried out of sight. So that's on the 17th. Is Anna's graduation party. And I tell you, this Saturday and next Saturday, it's just all grad parties. I think we go to one maybe on Friday night this week. Just we'll stop in at somebody's house, enjoy their good cooking or catering, and then be on our way. So, and then we really don't have anything but making sure we're all set for Wayne's wedding in July. And then nothing really until Mitchell's wedding in August. And then let's take Anna to school. So really starting to sense that life change type of thing, where life is really going to be different. So it's making me think about, what do we want things to look like? Did I hear zone 0? Slosh, slosh, slosh. Splash, splash. Yes, it was raining all night. So, the trail,
Zone 1.
paved trail, is quite wet. I can't wait for it to dry up a little bit just to get back out on the true trails. Just a little too muddy for me right now.
Zone 2.
I love a good mud. It's just a bit much. Yeah, so what is life going to look like
1.
after all of this is done? I'm sure Anna is asking the same thing. Her biggest concerns going off to college is how successful am I going to be at making friends? So that's something we'll be keeping as a matter of prayer, because I think she does fine. She perceives that she doesn't do
Zone
fine.
0.
But I think what she really means is there a person who will just be her best friend.
Zone
Someone
1.
she can confide in and really feel close to. And I think it'll come. It's kind of interesting
Zone
how
2.
our boys processed all of that. Everybody's so different. Mitchell went away and he was very quiet. So if you ask people from high school,
Zone 1.
oh, you're Mitchell's dad. He was so quiet. And if you meet him now, you would never think he was quiet. That's just the way some people are. I've met other people in life who really come out of their shell once they're a little independent. So I would describe Mitchell that way. So he's thought to have been very quiet. But then he became very social, which is good. Wayne was quiet but social already.
Zone 0.
And he's not one to open up so much. So you don't know what he is. Back then, he didn't know what he
Zone
was
1.
thinking so much. I think it's easier to know what he's thinking now. He's a little more verbal about things. But he still tends to think more internally. Whereas Mitchell was a very external thinker. We always knew exactly what Mitchell had on his mind. Didn't seem to keep anything back, which had its challenges, but also had its advantages. At least you weren't left wondering. And not that he didn't keep anything back, but he usually spoke his mind pretty easily.
Zone 1.
Anna's somewhere in between, I think. I don't know that Mitchell expressed that he was concerned about relationships and making them. Wayne didn't, but Anna is. Anna's very concerned about
Zone
that.
0.
So she's very concerned that, here, it is the end of an era, and you don't know what the foreseeable future looks like.
Zone 1.
You've got a strong group of friends, but you're all going different ways. Not one of them is going to the same college.
Zone 2.
So this boy who she's been close to all year long is going to Duke University. Another friend is going to Lafayette, which is up in eastern Pennsylvania. Another's going to Lehigh University, which
Zone
is
1.
in Bethlehem. And her closest girlfriend is going to Grove City College on the other end of Pennsylvania. And then that girl's
Zone 0.
boy interest is going to school somewhere out there also, not the same school. I think it's called Bethel
Zone
or Bethany.
1.
And he wants to run cross country for them, so he's excited about that. So yeah, they're all kind of splitting ways.
Zone
And,
2.
she sees in them an excitement for the future, but they've all got to be wondering the same thing, and she just doesn't see it. So when you ask her, she'll say, "Oh no, they're really excited." And I'd say, "Oh no, they're just as concerned about you, about what the
Zone
future looks like."
1.
Maybe the boys, not quite the same, but yeah, they're going to wonder about that. Or they figure, hey, got to roll with things. Life changes. So, yeah, tough time to navigate what those changes look like. Now, back to the other question.
Zone 0.
What do all of these life changes look like for Margie and me? We've got a big old house that'll be just the two of us
Zone 1.
and a cat, unless we get a dog. Yeah. Anna
Zone
wants us to get a
2.
dog before she leaves for college. And Margie's like, no. Who's going to watch a dog while we're in Tennessee? So she's thinking better to wait until at least after Mitchell's wedding. And really, we've got so many expenses that have crept us up, I cannot speak.
Zone 1.
Crept up on us this year that, just don't know. So how about your all's life change? Jim, I think you're on your own with your wife.
Zone 0.
I think. I'm not really sure. I see Norman is celebrating his daughters.
Time.
Good to
15
hear him
minutes,
podcast
3
here
seconds.
this
Distance,
week.
1 miles.
So I'm in
Average
the middle
pace,
of listening to that
15
slowly.
Minutes, 3 seconds per mile. Average heart rate 108.
And I'm not sure if his older daughter is graduating or not, but she really has an artful talent. I hope Anna can have hope she can have some promise like that. I think she's talented. I don't know if she has quite the raw talent that Norm's daughter seems to have, but I hope Anna will apply herself and make things happen. So, all right, rounding the bend here toward Union Cemetery. Nobody else out this morning. Even on the rainy days and the
Zone
misty days,
1.
I usually come across somebody, but not yet anybody.
Zone 2.
Of course, Carlos has his house empty of his boys. I think I've seen pictures of them lately. Either they are old pictures or the boys have come to visit.
Zone 1.
And then Kevin. He's got a trio there that are growing up but nowhere near leaving home. And same for Michael. I don't think his boys are yet to that age. Michael, do you have a daughter too? Maybe I've seen a picture? I'm not sure. Maybe you have one who's left home. Unless that's your wife.
Zone
Oops.
0.
Oh well, compliments to your wife for looking like a daughter. Unless that is a daughter I'm thinking of. And let's see. It was Just Plain Dave. Just Plain Dave up there in the north. So I think that Dave, I'm not sure where you are. I want to say it's in the Boston area. So maybe I'll be out visiting, at least in the vicinity, as we take Anna to college. So, besides getting another pet, what might be other changes? Well, these past few years, since I came to work at a different church, since we were really plugged into another church and then got laid off in 2013 and then took my present job at a different church, we have kind of kept a foot in both churches. With Anna moving on, we realized that will be one toe less to keep in our former church. So we had reasons to come down and visit every so often. I think we still will. Margie's parents are there, but they have quickly lost their mobility. Still not entirely sure about the summer plans. So I know they're making plans for Wayne's wedding, but my mother-in-law is in a lot of pain lately, so I don't know about a long trip out to Nashville. So unless a different doctor can help her, I don't know. So that's the hard part. So I see the foreseeable future as we're going to be caring for aging parents a little bit more often. But maybe we can also have more people in our home. So I said to Margie the other day, we had gone out to, it was last Friday, we had gone out to a Chinese buffet type of restaurant. And I thought, our friend who was recently widowed, who is back from Italy, her name is Maureen. I should have given Maureen a call and said, hey, we're going over here for dinner if you want to join us. And the only caution Margie said was, yeah, but then you got to feel obligated to pay for their dinner. So, okay, well, let's not turn the idea away, but think of how to say, hey, we can't afford to pay your way, but we'd love for you to join us. I don't know. Not sure what the right way to say that is, but see if we can open our home up a little more, I think is what I'm thinking, to entertaining and visiting, making new friends. So back to the foot in each church, I was asked to lead the small group, or lead a small group. I'm not sure if it would be the same. Lead a small group at our present church where I'm working. I took over for our friend Don, who fell off the ladder and then had the brain injury that took his life. And so I've been asked to stay on. I'm not so sure. All of the people in our group aren't looking to try out another group. They've been together for at least 15 years. So I know one couple I was speaking to last week is interested in getting to know other folks, which I think is great. So I need to have that talk with the pastor who's in charge of that. and have a discussion with him about what the future looks like. I think an email has actually gone out to folks asking them to express their interest in small groups next year. I just realized I've been walking for a long time. I haven't been paying attention to my cues, so I will pick up the pace there. I love these carefree days.
Zone 1.
There we go, zone 1. That's what I miss about podcasting. Time just goes by so very quickly, but I'm trying to pay attention to those zone cues. Here comes noisy car number 2. Some sort of delivery truck. Yeah, so those are things I am thinking about the future. Opening our home a little more.
1.
And participation in different things. But the other part of that 2-foot thing is whether to take our foot out of our friends who we love so dearly in our former church's small group. In fact, the last time we met, about 2 weeks ago, the wife of the small group leader paid Margie and I, paid Margie and me a nice compliment, saying how thankful she was we were a part of the group and what that meant to her and her husband. And then we unloaded on her, not unloaded, but then we revealed to her that we were considering leaving the group. So, yeah, transitions. I think we're just sitting in front of a bunch of transitions.
Zone 1.
My dad turns 88 in less than 2 weeks. And so far, he's been fully able to continue caring with my mom. I'd say not for my mom, but with my mom. You know, they are great at being able to help each other. So my mom will be, she will be 80 this October. My dad will be 88 in 2 weeks. So, seems like most of their time is spent with the doctor's visits, but they're able. You know, they're not in and out of doctor's offices with needing somebody else to transport them. And it's really quite a blessing in that regard. Yeah. So, Margie's parents, they're just having more and more difficulty, but doing a little better. At least my father-in-law's doing a little better than he was a few months ago. So back in the fall, he had some difficult transitions of his own, but I think he's carrying on okay. My mother-in-law really wished that she could be helped. So she had some surgeries that were meant to be a help but haven't been a help. And I think her hip surgery probably did help. She needs her knees to be replaced, but she has other issues too. And not getting those things to where she wants to be has been discouraging to her. So, all right, well, we are in Memorial Park. We're running aside this little creek. I can never know which creek this is. It's just the one that runs besides Memorial Park.
Zone 1.
Runs out of town. So how are my feet doing? Well,
Zone
Sockless
2.
Steve today is doing okay, except for I just got some pebbles in my shoe. Not pebbles, but little grains of annoyance. Oh, one nice thing is yesterday, at long last, in my opinion, they placed porta-johns all over the place. Morning. And in my humble opinion, they should have done this a month ago, or done that a month ago. So, the Memorial Day parade, you know, that's the kickoff of summer activities. And maybe it's because of the wet weather we've had that they didn't get that done earlier.
Zone 0.
But it is good because, you know, you're running around a park and sometimes things change in an awful hurry and you need a little pit stop. But, yeah, there is one building in the park, but only in Memorial Park. So over in the sports complex park, there's nothing unlocked. But there is a building here right on the creek that they unlock for depending on the season. So once it is warm enough and the pipes won't freeze, I guess they open things up, and that has been helpful at times. So, all right, so my sockless feet are doing okay, except for that little set of debris that just crept in. It's
Zone
not
1.
debilitating. And then, how is that other mysterious pain? Well, it seems to be okay too. I kind of thought that it would be okay for running because I'm not
Zone
running
2.
fast enough where I'm pushing off. And the walking portion gives me the opportunity to
Zone 1.
just keep it warm and flexible. By the way, I apologize if my voice has been in and out. Not really paying much attention to arm swing. So if my voice is kind of like in and out and in and out and in and out, I apologize. Not intentional. All right, well,
0.
I'm coming to the end of my effort today, just because I really would like to get out tomorrow. Rain might still be
Zone
a possibility, and I have a possibility of rain again today, but at least I'm trying to get some time in before the next batch of showers
Zone
comes through.
2.
And then on Sunday, I think we will have flipped,
Time 30.
not our lid,
54.
but flipped our pattern.
Distance 2 miles. Average pace 15 minutes. 51 seconds per mile. Average heart rate 102.
And it will seem like school is really out for the summer because I think we're going up to the mid-80s. And it will be in a more summer-like pattern, I think, finally.
Zone 1.
I mean, you know, the one good thing is we have enjoyed a spring-like spring and not a summer-like spring. The only drawback Well, one is so much rain that it's hard to plan anything outdoors. All right, walking away from that truck. Yeah, hard to plan anything outdoors. And then also, hard to plant things outdoors. We just finished planting our garden on Saturday. So we finally got beans in the ground. But maybe that's also been a little bit of a blessing as far as the beans go, because beans sitting in a lot of water incessantly just leads to rot and you don't get beans. So got those planted. Now they've had some rain. Heat is on its way. I think growth is going to happen. So looking forward to that. Also doing diligence to keep the critters at bay. So I have nabbed a few groundhogs and rabbits. Rabbits come out first thing in the morning at dawn. They come out at dusk. Groundhogs, they can appear, they usually are out in the daytime. So that's what I'm noticing. So, this time of day, well, when I first came to the park, there were plenty of rabbits here. But I'm watching for rabbits that are kind of lurking near my garden. I don't want them to lurk. So we're keeping an eye on those. The other part that I need to do something about is I want to go over to, there's a Lowe's home improvement center just less than a mile away. Go over there and see if I can find some stuff in their trash, or ask them about stuff in their trash. Particularly, I would like to put up little bands of things. And so if they have a pallet with a bunch of, let's say, mulch on it, my goodness, the trucks are out. These are all Quakertown Burrow trucks that are out, I guess, going to do different things first thing in the morning, but they are the noisy kind. So a lot of times those things are strapped down to the pallets. And if I could get hold of some of those straps, I will put them up above my fence. So from fence post to fence post, and then maybe tie some rags onto it or something to try to keep the deer out. Last year they just jumped right on over. We don't want them to do that. So we would prefer they just keep to their own vegetation and not ours.
Workout paused. Workout stopped.
Okay. Forgot to put pause a while ago. So that is, I guess, the last of our vigilance. I put up new chicken wire to keep the rabbits out. Groundhogs. We have not had a problem with groundhogs digging under fences. So we have had problems with rabbits finding little holes and deer just jumping right over. So that's what we're trying to prevent, so we can enjoy our garden. Last year, our garden was just devastated by something. Not sure who the guilty party was, but they ate everything down to stubble. And that was it. I was kind of thinking, I forgot it, I actually forgot about that. I thought we had just a really bad dry season, but no. It was something came in and ate everything, and that did our garden in. So we did not plant bell peppers this year. Margie says they just haven't been successful, so she didn't want to bother. So we have tomatoes green beans, eggplant, zucchini, and cucumber. I think that's about it. And then we planted some zinnias around. No onions. Oh, we do have some lettuce. So far that looks untouched. So, hooray for the chicken wire, chicken fence, or whatever that is. Rabbit fence. I was out here on a walk yesterday. I'm in the baseball fields between diamonds. Took a picture of a very wet home plate, and it's no less wet today. In fact, it was a little wetter earlier because it had just stopped raining. Now some of the water has, I guess, seeped into the ground a little since I began my outing today. Well, that's about it. So that's your update for this Tuesday. And glad we could be along together, and hope you're all doing well. Hope you don't have any niggly things like I seem to be having niggly things. But glad to be out and about and not just nursing a sore foot. So I will see if I can do a bit of post-outing massage. And then meet you out here again tomorrow. I don't know if I'll record anything tomorrow, but be out here again tomorrow for the National Running Day, weather permitting. So, with that, I will bid you all adieu and happy running.